Welcome to Future Watch. I'm Cheryl Atkinson in for Marianne Laughlin. And a man with a famous name lends his clout to cleaning up the planet.
If we don't do the changes now and take the right kind of action now, then it will be a pretty dismal future.
And later, the reality of what's happening to the Earth and one man's hopes for change. When we come back, a member of the Nobel family says it's time environmentalism got its just awards.
Using a kidney from a...
5 o'clock Tuesday morning, the daughter of Dr. Joseph Murray wakes him up saying, "Daddy, I've got the most wonderful news. You've just won the Nobel Prize." Those few words were all that needed to be said, for the Nobel Prizes are the most highly regarded of international awards. Murray is just one of the prize winners named this week who will receive their awards December 10th. With hopes of someday achieving the status of the Nobels, the establishment of another group of prizes was announced this week, what might be called the Green Nobel. And the man behind the new awards is a descendant of Alfred Nobel himself. Great-grandnephew Claes is calling his awards the Earth Prizes. A businessman, Claes Nobel immigrated to the United States from Sweden more than 30 years ago. For the past 2 decades, he's been working on the idea of the Earth Prizes. Laurie Waffenschmidt tells us how he plans to expand his ancestors' vision and take it into the 21st century.
Population growth, pollution, depletion of the Earth's resources, and the possible destruction of the planet's life support systems. Claes Nobel says those are the reasons we need a new kind of Nobel Prize.
If we don't do the changes now and take the right kind of action now, then it will be a pretty dismal future.
He says the achievements for which Nobel Prizes are awarded have ended much suffering and improved our lives, but he says careless application of some of this new knowledge has created serious problems. Those problems have been divided into 7 categories for the Earth Prizes: conservation, food, energy, pollution, population, disarmament, and Earth ethics.
Earth ethics involves a total ethical relationship, first to a person towards him or herself. The next ethical relationship is our ethical relationship towards other people in the family and our neighbor and so on. And the last ethical relationship is our relationship to nature.
The award for Earth ethics will be given every year, but the other categories may change in the future when one of the problems is either resolved or substantially reduced, or when a more dangerous problem emerges. And Nobel says he's confident some of the problems can be resolved.
We are literally hoping for miracles to take place, but miracles can take place. And I'm referring to when human will power dismantled the Berlin Wall, when Germany now got reunified, things that we did not think were possible. But once we start to think in a positive way and once we take the action, I feel that this job can be done, and it must be done.
There's much to be done before the Earth Prizes can be awarded. Nobel is quick to point out that his great-granduncle, Alfred Nobel, gave his money away to establish the Nobel Prizes, so Claes is currently working on setting up an endowment fund to provide cash awards to the winners. He hopes to get million-dollar contributions from 100 donors who would have their names engraved on a stone in Washington, the proposed site of the first award ceremony. Nobel says this would give future generations something positive to look back on, similar to the way he views his great-granduncle.
Let's say that a young kid walks up to the monument in Washington, D.C. 5, 10, 15 years from now and say, "That name there, that's my grandfather's name. He helped to establish the Earth Prizes."
Those who can't afford the million-dollar price tag can also help as part of an event which Nobel says will be something like Live Aid. New World's Eve is an international telethon planned for this December 31st. One group of Earth Prizes will be awarded as part of the telethon, those at the grassroots level. Prizes for world leaders, corporations, or other groups will be awarded in the style of the current Nobel Prizes. But Nobel says winning an Earth Prize will just be the beginning. He hopes for more from his Earth laureates.
Well, we really want to work with them in order to give them maximum support, both the financial support as well as the applicable support, so that their teachings and technologies, findings are being used to create a better world.
And Nobel says there will be a demand for that knowledge. He says environmental activism will increase once we start seeing positive results from the work that's being done now.
Somehow, prior to that, we did not do the right kind of decisions. Whether those unwise decisions were based upon ignorance, upon selfishness, or greed, I do not know, but they are there. And that's why we had to change.
Nobel hopes the Earth Prizes will give the proper recognition to those who make the right decisions and will motivate others to be less selfish and more ethical to create a better future for us all. Lori Waffenschmidt, CNN, Future Watch.
Nobel says he hopes President Bush will present the first set of Earth Prizes. Future award ceremonies are to be held in capital cities around the world. That's our look ahead. I'm Cheryl Atkinson. Join us next week for another edition of Future Watch.